The weekly rundown with Babbzy is back. If you guys want my take on all the things that have been going on in social media and in the real news, like Omorosa spilling tea like she crazy, make sure you watch this video.
Babbzy, see them. One more year on the blog of them. Then I go live to see Babbzy broke again. She get the wings them, so she not stuck again. Dirty bad mind out of luck. Babbzy have some hard work you put in, and them a block the door. Never want you put a foot in, but what fi bip? Happy bip, no man can't try to take what happy weekend. So big up, big up, and all who not forget big up, chuck off. Babbzy, wait up that big and serious and a smiley face. No laugh, watch that then, how long we are wings.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Babbzy here, the weekly rundown for you. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of people have been asking me my take on this, that, and the other. So let's just get into the video like right now. But in case you're not following me on all my social media outlets, make sure you are. My name is strictly Babbzy on all my social media outlets except for Facebook. My name there's Babbzy at large. Don't forget to subscribe to me on this channel right here. This is where I do all my rants and my reviews weekly. And we're trying to get back into the groove. So you don't want to miss me. So make sure you're subscribed right here. So first things first, let's get into the whole Nicki Minaj drama. As you know, Nicki Minaj dropped her album Queen about a week and a half ago, and at the end of last week she got her sale numbers, and child, she is not happy about it. She was released on Billboard having the second best album of the week behind Travis Scott, and when she found out that she was second, she pretty much had a nervous breakdown on social media, well, Twitter, and she started going in on everybody. But before her album sales were released, she was getting a lot of people doing projections, and she was cursing at everybody, all down to DJ Academics. She was coming over saying fake news, this, that, and Academics actually estimated more albums than she actually did sell after the first week. So it's just kind of funny to see what's going on in Nicki Minaj's mind right now. She's just basically having an emotional breakdown on social media. So she started going after Travis Scott. She's talking about Kylie Jenner having a baby, this and that, how they're doing tactics to sell albums, and how, I know and Travis knows that I had the best selling album of the week and this and that. Like, I don't know why she's being like pushed to this place where she has to be validated by album sales to this magnitude. Like, oh well, you were second, you still sold 185,000 albums. That is a lot. Yes, it's not as much as you've sold in the past, but you're not the artist you've been in the past. You've been very absent from social media for almost a year, off and on, and Nicki Minaj just isn't relatable to people like she once was. I think that attacking the Kardashians for her, because that's her demographic, is not really the best move. If you notice, Travis Scott hasn't really been into the antics. He's not really the one that's out here trying to do this, start beef with anybody. He's just letting the music do what it needs to do. And you know what? At the end of the day, that's really what it's about. So with Nicki, cussing out Safari, going and trying to make up with Funk Master Flex to get promo, like even watching her on these interviews, I've stopped watching her because she doesn't even act like she wants to be there. She's on her phone, she's rolling her eyes, she's like whatever. So it's like, you know what? She's just not relatable anymore to the average person. And during her glory time, there wasn't a Cardi B, there wasn't a Remy Ma. She was in jail. There was a lot of other things going on for her, where right now the competition is just kind of stiff. And you know what? There are some girl rappers, lady rappers, female rappers that are coming up, whether it's Asian Doll, even if you Bad Baby, you don't want to admit to these things, but these people are pushing numbers, they're getting support, and they have their followers. So, I just think for Nicki, to me, it's like, just calm down, man. You still have a very high net worth. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Rihanna. Rihanna's coming up with a reggae album. She's not going to sell as much albums as she normally does, I don't believe, doing a reggae album. But she has her Fenty Beauty that's doing multi-millions of dollars. She has her Puma contracts. Like, she's not out here trying to fight with people to prove herself anymore. And Nicki is known to be a good rapper. Everybody knows she was the queen of rap. Like, and it just feels like, she's just coming off her high horse to like address the peasants all the time. And I think this is what people's problem is with her. But nonetheless, I don't think she should be going around attacking people for liking Travis or liking Kylie. Like, this is just how the time goes right now. So I think whoever's close to Nicki needs to take her cell phone away from her and ban her from social media for the next couple of days. The next thing with Nicki, she's starting to get petty with Cardi B for whatever reason. She's been saying that Cardi B's been buying her following, buying her career. And the truth of the matter is you can't buy fans. You cannot buy fans. Like, there's no way of buying fans. The people like Cardi B because Cardi B is relatable. Cardi B has this love story with Offset, a little gangster nigga from the hood and this and that, and she's from the hood and now they have a baby and they got married, and like, that's just the story that a lot of young girls want as their Cinderella story. You know, Nicki, on the other hand, and I'm not saying this is her fault, but you know, she has the Meek Mill drama, Safari drama, Nas drama, pretending to be messing with Eminem drama, like this kind of stuff. Cardi B's not doing that. Cardi B's just being herself and winning. And I feel like Nicki just needs to stop watching Cardi B or watching anyone and just do her own thing. Because at the MVAs, she's throwing shade, talking about how she's the queen and she writes her raps and she this and she that. You know, Cardi B ain't no joke either. She's gonna clap back, and she was just like, yo, the fans like me and you can't buy that, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And like, they unfollowed each other on Instagram, and it's just like, look, man, just do your own thing. You know what I mean, Nicki? Do your own thing. Now, in other news, there was a report that came out this week from Trinidad and Tobago that was saying that Trinidad Carnival had one of its lower numbers over the past couple of years of visitors that visited Trinidad Carnival for 2018. Now, I know a lot of people started to get all upset and concerned and whatever. I'm just going to say this because it's just something that needs to be said. And I think sometimes when these statistics come out, you need to really take a look at them deeply and not just look at the numbers for what they are. The numbers for Trinidad would be a lot lower because Trinidad Carnival was a lot earlier this year. Next year, Trinidad Carnival is going to be in March. As you know, it follows the whole Easter Lent type of cycle, so it actually moves every year along with how Easter will move. You know, there's sometimes Easter is in April, sometimes Easter is in March, right? So that's how Trinidad Carnival is sometimes in, you know, February, sometimes it's in March. So, you know, I don't think this is a big, huge reason for Trinidadians to be alarmed that, you know, they had lower numbers for Trinidad Carnival this year. I don't think the Trinidad Tourism Board or anybody needs to be alarmed, because I think that this year, with a Trinidad Carnival having a longer period and with artists having started a lot earlier this year, band launches are going on all now. Like, it's really, really, really early and they're cranking already. I think that, you know, this year for 2019 Trinidad Carnival coming is going to be a really top year for Trinidad. So I don't think there's anything for anyone to worry about looking at these types of statistics. Now, over to Barbados, there was a lot of concern because this year they were saying that a lot of the band leaders lost a lot of money. You know, I struggle to understand how band leaders are losing money when costume prices are going up substantially. You know, I don't know how much more inflation is happening on a lot of these costumes being built in China. The ways that they found to like skimp on the cost, etc., to make these costumes, I don't know how band leaders are losing money. But what I'll do is I'll link some articles below so that you can have a look and see, you know, what the conversations are about. You know, Betty West was saying that this year was a tough year, etc. I don't know. To me, I just feel like Crop Over looked extremely packed this year. There were a lot of revelers on the road with costumes. From what I saw, there was less spectators, more revelers, and I just don't know how every year band leaders are saying they're losing money when every year it just looks like it's growing. And on top of that, the Beige and the Power by Fours, they're not really the monopoly on a lot of these, you know, mass bands anymore. Like, there's so many mass bands that have been introduced, and I don't think people are introducing mass bands to lose a lot of money. So that's just my take on it, but I'll link the article below for you to read, as well as the article on the stats being down for Trinidad Carnival. Now, you know, my girl Omorosa's out here kicking it up, dusting it up, and fucking it up. Omorosa is not playing out here with her and her book launch and all of these recordings that she's been dropping. Girl, let me tell you something. Now, you guys know I'm not a fan of Omorosa. I ripped the shit out of her last year when she got fired. However, let's say that she drinking the Milo with less condensed milk in it is a very, very, you know, entertaining thing to watch. I don't know why Donald Trump fuck around with that Negro. I'm telling you, like, these two are two peas in a pod. One's a dog and one's a racist, and I don't know, but all I know is that Omorosa is spilling the shit and I'm just enjoying every second of it. I think Omorosa is a bitch. I don't think she's somebody that I would play with, be friends with, you know, invite to my wedding. However, going up against Donald Trump, she's doing a damn good job. I'll tell you that. So For me, I'm going to take her title from being a coon and kind of switching her over to being coon-ish, because we got to still keep our eye on her. We know that she's spilling tea because she's selling books. So just remember that she still has her motives out here, and her motive is money. So let's just not all jump the gun and side with her right away, because she has her own reasons as to why she's doing this. And they're not necessarily for black people. They may just be more for her to make more money. Understand what I'm saying? And lastly, I want to talk about Beenie Man's interview on stage with Winfred Williams, where he addressed the rumors that Labba started earlier last week as well. You did not hear me speak about them, because I will let me try to explain why I didn't speak about them. And this is where cultural differences might come into play, because, you know, I'm a Bajan. So Bajans handle things a lot differently than some of the other people in the Caribbean. And this is one of the examples where I really realized that Bajans really are different when it comes to things like this. Now, Labba is an old-time dancer. He's 75 years old, and he used to hang around Beenie Man as well as a lot of other people. He invented some dance moves when he was in his 60s. He's been known to tour and hang around with Elephant Man and a whole bunch of other people. Well, last week, Labba decides that he wants to start talking about who killed Bogle, which was, you know, Bogle is the dancer. If you don't know the Bogle dance move, Bogle, then maybe you shouldn't even watch this video, because you might have no clue what I'm talking about. So Labba starts labbering his mouth and talking about how Beenie Man paid people to kill Bogle and all kinds of craziness. And this is why I'm upset, because a lot of vloggers ran with this story and started to push this story, and it was kind of mind-boggling to me, because I'm like, why are you pushing a story from Labba? Now, like I talked before, being Bajan, Labba is considered a vagrant in Barbados. Bajans do not listen to vagrants. We only have one vagrant that gets a little bit of shine, and his name is Ninja Man, the Bajan Ninja Man, and that's because he's more of a comedian than anything. A person like Labba in Barbados, nobody would ever listen to, nobody would ever take the word of, because he is just seen as a vagrant. He lives on the streets, he's missing teeth. You can see that he's one wacky dip away from Bellevue, like he's not all there. And I don't know why anybody would listen to Labba talking, find that amusing, and then reshare this all over the world like Beenie Man is some murderer. So I never shared it, because I don't find Labba to be a credible source. And then when I found out who was recording it, the person recording it is pretty much a vagrant as well. And I don't know what it is that is in dancehall culture that people are gravitating to vagrants talking. Like, I'm seeing vagrants having vlogs, and I'm thinking to myself, like, these people, why are you listening to them? You know what I mean? We're all in life in different realms of life. Some people are vagrants because of bad choices. Some people are vagrants because they can't do no better for whatever reason. However, we don't take the word of a vagrant as gospel. Like, what are we doing here now? So to see dancehall vloggers, some vloggers that are deemed credible, like running with this story, just seems so weird to me. I would never put Labba on my platform. I think if I put Labba on my blog page on Facebook, I would become unverified for sharing something like that. Like, that's flagrant fake news. And in America, like, these are things you can charge people for. They can do jail for. That's defamation of character. Beenie Man is nice, because when Beenie Man went on stage to talk about it, he just brushed it off or whatever. Like, some people won't let that slide. You talking about them murdering somebody or having somebody killed, they might start making problems for your life for you. You know what I mean? So I liked how Beenie Man handled the interview. What I'll do is I'll link the interview below on stage, so you could take a watch and listen to what Beenie Man had to say about this whole Labba story, and why Labba would be calling up his name, talking about he had Bogle killed. I'm not saying Beenie Man did or he did not have Bogle killed. I'm saying that Labba, who is a vagrant, should not be a credible source for any type of murder situation, because these vagrants will say anything for a box of Kentucky. And if you guys don't know that, I don't know, like, maybe I'm off, and maybe vagrants are respected people where you are, but like in Canada or in Barbados, like, no one listens to vagrants. Nobody's gonna put a vagrant on their blog and be like, he said this and whatever. Like Barbados has had other mad people that have, you know, gone on video and started to say things, and they don't last because people realize they're talking shit and stop following them. Like the first 1 or 2 times, you know, the tea, the Milo, the Ovaltine is a little hot, and people are like, yeah, let's listen. But then after a while, they're like, this person's lying, because last week they said this, and now this week they're saying that. And there's a lot of clout chasers out here. There's a lot of people who will just say shit just for you to like their page, follow them, whatever. Like this is a fucking weird time that we're in right now. And I just hope that a lot of you, you know, investigate a lot of these stories a little bit better than just to be like, oh, Labba, Labba, this is so funny. Like, that's not funny. There's someone's life now that is going to be basically looked at differently, maybe, and he might be totally innocent. Bogle's family has to go through this all over again. You know, Labba's family now has the problems of dealing with him and his problems. Like, this is funny to you guys, and people are being hurt and trampled in the process. So that's my only take on stuff like this. Like, why are you listening to vagrants, man? Come on, yo. Like, come on, man. Labba's a vagrant. If you can't see that, then I think you should put your phone down and stay off social media for just a tad bit. So there you have it, folks. A weekly rundown with Babbzy. We're going to be keeping close with the Omorosa story because, you know, I'm just going, she's coonish. We going to put her in the coonish category. I don't really like her, but I like what she's doing. You understand? Defend the black people for now until we get another leader. I don't know who it's going to be, but I know it ain't going to be me. Mwah. See you guys next week. Agan. Bye.